Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 14 of Ace Attorney Investigation 2. Last time, we did some more investigating. We investigated the holding cell. Found that apparently a guard was knocked down because Horst was apparently playing a prison escape. And then we ran into Sebastian, and basically one of my favorite moments in the game, just his first cross-examination. They play his theme. It's just brilliant. Ace in my sleeve! Oh! Ace up my sleeve! Yes, the meth detectors are always the best! This ace is my trump card! Well then, allow me to show you that is not, in fact, a trump card at all. Simon Gibbs was the one who sent this chessboard to the victim in the first place, so it's only natural some of his fingerprints will be left on it. Ah! That took way too long! These fingerprints are hardly the size of his. Perhaps your arrest was a little too rash. Rash? To begin with, this incident occurred in the detention center and the prison. To suspect Simon just because he isn't a prisoner or a guard is a little unreasonable. Ah! What? What's with him all of a sudden? I finally get what you're trying to say. Rash! You mean we were too quick to arrest this guy, right? He was stuck on that? Sure, I was the first to lay eyes on him, and I was the first to notice the evidence. That was even faster. But I'm not rash. Sure, Simon Keys is a guard or a prisoner, but... Sebastian. Judge Courtney. What are you doing, Justine? Don't put in like that! Pardon me, Sebastian. Yes, your words on the suspect are very interesting. However, shouldn't you get to the best part first? The best part? The gears are spinning in Sebastian's head. They are spinning. They're heating up. They're smoking. Smoke is coming out of Sebastian's ears. Why don't you tell them about your wonderful reasoning regarding the murder weapon? I had to listen to that crap, so now Mr. Edgeworth is going to have to suffer the same fate. Good one, Justine. Nice suggestion. Mr. Edgeworth, listen to my first-rate reasoning. Will this reasoning explain why you arrested Mr. Keys? I'm sure it will meet your expectations, your expeditions. Judge Courtney just changed the flow of the conversation. Just what's she planning? It's obvious the murder weapon was a sharp metal object. However, the prison maintains strict controls over potentially lethal items. So that's why I've reasoned that the murder weapon was brought in from the outside. Yes, it was hidden inside that chessboard. And since only the victim and the suspect fingerprints were found on the chessboard, isn't it oblivious who brought and used the murder weapon? At least it's clearer than his last testimony. It's the best reasoning you can get from the prosecutor. The best! How do you like that? How he's mixing up the best with his own name? But could someone really hide a weapon inside gifts into a prisoner? Hee hee! You'll find a good place if you examine the inside the chessboard. Inside the chessboard? Is there some place to hide a weapon? As I thought, there are only chess pieces inside. Hee hee hee! Wow! Wow, what an annoying laugh! Inside the chessboard, huh? Perhaps I should examine it a bit further. The top panel is removable! It's quite deep! Yes, there's more than enough room to hide a small knife. Understand now? This is how the culprit smuggled in the... What's with the... I wasn't even finished! Mr. The Best, there is something you've forgotten. There's a gay at the entrance of the detention center, and CzarThwomp has a cough. Well, there is, but... He means the security gates with the metal detector, Sebastian. We had to pass through the same check when we entered the prison, remember? You thought it was a vending machine? You kept punching it and demanding them to give you your quarter back? Yeah, that's it, I remember now! It looks like he completely forgot. It would be impossible to smuggle a sharp metal object into the detention center. Therefore, your reasoning never held, even from the very beginning. Yeah, more like Justine's reasoning. It's like Sebastian can come up with it. Sebastian probably can barely read past a second grade level. That gate is used only on people, In other words, packages sent to the detention center undergo a simpler check. So they don't use a metal detector for that. They never should have happened. It seems that the guards were too careless. Right, Justine! Thanks for the assist! You're very welcome. Now then, Prosecutor Edgeworth, your cross-examination, if you please. Cross-examination? It's as if we're in a courtroom. Very well, his reasoning. Let's see how long he will hold up under pressure.
Hold it.
A sharp metal object. Do you have any proof of that? Didn't you see the victim's wound, worthless prosecutor? The vital blow was a stab to the throat, and a nice perficity matches up with that. That one was actually not intentional. There can be no other explanation. It seems I do not know about that piece of information yet. Wow, now this ain't. Speechless are you, Mr. Edgeworth? Right next, there's plenty more of my reasoning.
Hold it.
Even with the stricter rules, there are still some items that could be used, right? Well, yeah, things like grooming scissors. Of course, there's more to this, right, Sebastian? Exactly! At the time of the incident, only one thing was being borrowed. However, there was no reaction when we tested for blood. Those would be the scissors Mr. Salt was practicing with. So the inside of the prison was completely clear of sharp implements.
Hold it.
Can you be more specific about where it came from? Of course I can! It didn't come from inside the prison! Is he trying to sound smart? Simon Keys brought it in. That's what he meant. Mr. Edgeworth, can't you even figure that much out? I'm disappointed in you! And you've disappointed me from the start. You've disappointed the world from the start. Hey, that's what Pops told me! And he's been telling me that pretty much every day! In fact, that's our version of good morning and good night! So Simon brought the murder weapon, but how, you ask?
Hold it.
No weapon was found at the crime scene, not even inside the chessboard. So where did the murder weapon disappear to? I'd like to hear you answer that. Well, after the crime, the car must have hidden it somewhere in the prison. Is there a problem with the statement? The murder weapon is inside the prison? I don't think so. It's clear from this piece of evidence.
Take that.
I'm just trying to see what Sebastian says. What? That's your proof? Indeed, this makes it clear. Sebastian, that doesn't prove a thing. Oh, I knew it! Ah, that was right after all. Well then, if you have proof, then hurry up and show us. Okay. Alright, yes, the prison investigation, but I think I may have missed it. I did miss it! You, along with Warren Rowland, conducted a search of the prison, but you did not find the murder weapon, right? That's... You overlooked something! This guy just completely contradicted himself! You carried out such a sloppy investigation. I'm amazed that you call yourself the best. Are you mocking me? Justine, he's mocking me! Just like that mean kid from school, Clavier! He would call me the turd! He'd give me a swirly in the boys' room toilet! Sebastian, please calm yourself. Don't get caught in the opponent's pace. I'm fine, Justine! Did you really think the best prosecutor would be shaking by someone miles behind him? I wish he'd stop messing around with other people's names. Oh, in that case, Cape Verde is far ahead! Okay, don't you get caught up in this too. People ship you two enough as it is. We don't need more fuel to the fire. Yeah, that's right. People actually do ship Kay and Sebastian together. One of the big reasons being that they're so close in age to each other, among other reasons. Yes, if my best investigation didn't find anything, then there must not have been a single weapon in the prison. I tried really hard. In that case, there's only one possibility. The criminal must have taken the murder weapon with him when he left the prison. So it's only natural we didn't find it there. Yeah!
Objection!
There was no way the culprit could have brought the weapon out of the prison. And this is why!
Take that!
Have you completely forgotten your own testimony? Yes, but that's not the point, Mr. Edgeworth. That's twice you've insulated me. Oh, it seems you remember what I said earlier. But do you remember further than that? What is that? This guy, he really doesn't remember anything. It seems that way. The detention center and the prison are equipped with security gates. Anyone leaving must pass through these gates. Gates equipped with metal detectors. Ah, that's what you... Looks like he remembers now. Yes, there's no way someone could have brought the murder weapon through those gates. And so the criminal could not have taken it out of the prison either. Ah! So then, Prosecutor Edgeworth, do you know where this murder weapon went to? Perhaps the weapon is still inside the prison. But we couldn't find it anywhere in the prison. The reason you didn't find it is because you believed it to be a sharp metal object. We saw the very moment when Mr. Knightley was attacked after all. If you can say that much, then perhaps you could enlighten us. What would you say is the murder weapon in this case? On this piece of evidence, the murder weapon is obvious.
Take that!
Here is the footage from a security camera. It shows one of the cells in the detention center. See it with your own eyes. This tape clearly shows the moment the victim was attacked by a black dog. I believe this is sufficient proof, wouldn't you say? Indeed, this is vital evidence. Sebastian destroyed it in the grinder. What? Yes, Justine! And then Sebastian just throws out the window. I said the grinder, Sebastian, the grinder. I'm sorry if I was trying to be helpful! Orstad was killed in the detention center by that dog. After that, the body was moved from the prison workroom. All witness claims to have seen a dog in the workroom when the body was found. Of course, the dog couldn't have planned this crime on his own. However, there's someone who could have. That's enough, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Judge Courtney, it's true this camera footage is vital evidence. However, there's something else you must prove. Actually, you've already noticed it, haven't you? It's just as you said, there is still a huge flaw in my reasoning. If that black dog is a prisoner's pet, how is it able to move between the detention center and the prison? Ah! What will we do, Mr. Edgeworth? I still don't know how the dog managed to move from one place to the other. I knew it! What? You're one to talk. You don't know either. If you do not solve this mystery, I'm afraid I cannot accept your logic. If this was a real courtroom, I would call for a recess now. But this is not a courtroom, so I'm just going to tell you to F off, Edgeworth. What? Wait, I'm not done yet! Too bad Phoenix never got to travel with Justine. Otherwise, it would be the other way around. She'd be on his side the entire time. And Edgeworth would be getting all the penalties. Court has been adjourned. Leave at once. This isn't a courtroom! Well then, as I said, court is adjourned. I can't prove my argument, but isn't this the same case with Mr. Keys? Whatever do you mean? Just as I don't know how the dog entered the detention center, you also don't know how Simon Keys entered the detention center and prison. Although he came to visit the victim, he was an outsider to the prison. Don't you think it would be difficult for him to commit a crime inside the prison? Judge Courtney, now the burden of proof lies with you. Show us evidence that Simon Keys entered the prison. No. Haha. You want me to present evidence? I'm happy to oblige. What? Does she really have evidence? Of course I do. Why else would rigorous justice be playing, Mr. Edgeworth? It's about time I told you. Now that I know the basis of your reasoning, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth. What's she thinking? It seems you don't even know Simon Key's real occupation. He's a circus performer. A circus performer? Yes, have you ever heard of the Very Big Circus? Yeah, too bad this isn't a Francisco moment. Otherwise, I would be playing the Mo the Clown hellscape. The circus. Ah! But of course, yesterday was the day that I would have missed for the world. Wouldn't have missed it for the world? Did you have some kind of important meeting? Of heavens, no. I despise meetings. It was the animal show, of course. It seems you've realized. On the day of the incident, an animal show is being performed at the prison, and the show is put on by the Very Big Circus. So then, do you mean Simon is? Simon Keys entered the prison as a staff member of the animal show. That we know for a fact. No! This woman! She's been concealing this fact the whole time! She only planned to reveal it after hearing my reasoning! Come to think of it. What are you doing, Justine? Don't put in like that! Pardon me, Sebastian. Yes, your words on the suspect are very interesting. However, shouldn't you get to the best part first? Mr. The Best was going to say it then, but she stopped him! How do you like that word, the prosecutor? Look in the mirror, you little twit! You didn't do anything! I was there by proxy! Justine works for me! So her achievements are my achievements! Well then, now it really is time for a recess. I'll end with some advice. I already had doubted your abilities as a prosecutor, which is why I relieved you of your authority. You'd best not forget that. What are you trying to say? PIC can still take away your badge. If you value your badge, I'd advise you not to show your face before me again. Is that a threat? The gods of law is merciful, but that doesn't mean you can get away with everything. And one more thing, I must digress. I suggest you stop with this Defense Attorney Act. That's none of your concern. My daddy issues are my issues alone. I don't intend to abandon a case I am involved in so easily. But defense attorneys, a relationship of mutual trust with their client is vital. It is very different from the ways of the prosecutor. In any case, you didn't even know about your client's occupation. Well then, I must be going. May the blessing of the gods of law be upon you. Also, one thing you should notice, Sebastian is actually one of the very few prosecutors in the series who openly wears his badge. That's actually one of the fun things. A little foreshadowing for what we'll see later. Anyways. Did Simon just lie to us? It seems he lied to Uncle Ray too. This complicates matters further. Why do you do that? Hey, Miles! Don't tell me you've got cold feet already. Courtney Pye is just a handful, but giving up is still uncool. A defense attorney's creed is to never give up. Remember, you're my assistant. Of course, I don't plan on giving up either. It's just my theory that he got into the prison no longer holds. It looks like we'll have to investigate once more. To be continued. No, don't want to do that. March 28th, 3:02 p.m. Detention Center Visitors Room. Why did you not mention that beforehand? No, but I did. That you remember the Very Big Circus? It's embarrassing. It's humiliating. Have you ever dealt with Mo the Clown? It's traumatic. I actually like being in this cell. He keeps me safe. No, it's not that. I'm not. I can't call myself a member yet. I'm just a new recruit. Regardless, that still makes you a member. Eek. So why didn't you tell us that before? If I told you I was part of the circus, it would have made me look suspicious, right? Since I also knew Knightley and all, I didn't think anyone would believe what I had to say. Not even you guys, Kay. Didn't we promise to believe in you? But, Mr. Edgeworth, you're just kind of scary. Man, you're just terrible at getting info from people, aren't you, Miles? That's none of your concern. Looks like we need to have a talk with him again. So, what you do in the circus, Simon? I guess you could say I'm a wild animal tamers. I'm still just an apprentice, though. Wow, that's incredible! So you command lions and tigers to your being, right? No, nothing crazy like that. No way. My partner is this little guy right here. Money! The freaking money, the monkey! The murder accomplice! Yeah, that makes your case all the better, Simon. And what makes you a wild animal tamer? He's more like an organ grinder than a wild animal tamer. Hey, Money, cut that out! You can be quite a handful sometimes. I thought organ grinders controlled their monkeys, not the other way around. Yesterday you told us you were just a regular employee, correct? Even if I'm a member of the circus, I'm still legally an employee. We're just like any regular company. The ringleader's the boss and I'm just a grunt. Except the ringleader tortures me with a bunch of horrible jokes. I'm actually constantly jumping off the roof of the housing area. I even have a supervisor. She's the head of the wild animal tamer division. And she's kind of dim. No matter what kind of fierce creature, they all immediately follow her every command. She might even be able to get a handle on Miles here. I am not a wild animal! I am a human being! Did you and your supervisor take part in the animal show here at the prison? Yeah, it was just us two. It was only a small operation this time around. And for some reason, one of the guys, he was this really buff guy. He was this really buff guy in a wheelchair. He kept on glaring at her. He just kept glaring. He had tears in his eyes and money was flipping in the bird. It was weird. It was like a lot of tension. He had a toothbrush sheath for some reason. Basically, my supervisor takes center stage and I take care of all the dirty work. Well, I did have a tiny part in the performance. So there are only 2 members of the circus that are related to this case. Yes, just assume Max is the criminal. Just send the police there. What are you doing? No! This is not fabulous! Just dragging Max off again. Yeah, of course you get mowing on this. So, can you tell me how it moves around the prison? Okay, I went to meet Knightley 2 days ago around noon. And that's when you gave him the chessboard. That's right. And then that night, I started setting up the stage in the courtyard. It was very tough going back and forth moving all the crates by myself. I left everything in workroom A, I think, just temporary storage. Workroom A? That's where the body was discovered. Didn't your supervisor help you at all? No way! I can't let her do anything like that! That's my job! After I got everything ready, we started rehearsing. When we left, it was almost midnight. The show is set to start at 8 a.m. the next day and go on until 10. The only one who went in and out of where the body was found was Mr. Keys. And then the body was found just before the show ended. Do you happen to know why you were arrested? It's weird how it happened so fast. I don't think the pest guy would have just had you arrested on a whim. I wouldn't put it past him, though. He has red hair! Go get him! I read a case file in Themis where this really shady girl, she killed people. She had red hair. He has red hair. He wears pink. He fits the bill. Send him to jail. Well, maybe it's because of that. When I was moving the crates, I decided to go check up on him. You know how Knightley... You went directly into the detention block? Did you have permission? No, I had to sneak in. He wasn't a formal visitor or anything. Didn't you already see him 2 days ago? Why would you go and do such a thing? Well, we're the only friends either of us has since childhood. He was the same as me. We never had real families. I just wanted to talk with him for a bit, so I went to see him. You didn't have a family? When I was younger, I lost the only family I had, my father. So is that it? I know all too well how it feels to lose your daddy at a young age. So you're the same as Mr. Edgeworth and me? So it was just the 2 of you talking at the time? Yes, all the other cells were empty, and there weren't any guards nearby either. But then you got found out, and that's why they suspected you. What? What? Did I do something really bad? Something must have happened while Mr. Keys and Knightley were alone. That's probably the best logic. There is no logic to Sebastian. It's a swirling void of chaos. And the waltz. It seems that we'll need to talk with your supervisor as well. She should be here today, too. Probably in the courtyard. Ooh, I'm sorry it turned out like this, boss. Simon, if there's anything we can do to help, just tell us. What? But I can't do anything in return. Not will you worry about that. We're your allies. That's because we're like birds of a feather, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Birds of a feather, huh? I suppose that's true. We have sufficient info on your past. I doubt you had a motive to kill Knightley. Rather, you are probably the most affected by his death. And I doubt someone as timid as you could work up the courage to murder someone. Alright, I'll get you out of here, and we'll be leaving you.
Well, what do we have here? Starting to get hanging the whole defense attorney gig? You sounded a bit like your old man just now.
Me? Sound like my daddy.
He would say the defense attorney's job is to be an ally to the deserted. If you're going to ride that stallion into the sunrise, wait for me. I want in too.
Shit. I think you mean sunset.
Yeah, of course. It was just a joke. Want some candy?
No, no thank you. I don't like sweets.
Oh, really? What a shame.
What's wrong with the sunrise? The literary Ross is all about the sun. Since the sunlight always exposes the truth.
Good grief. Well, now let's just head to the prison courtyard and see what we can find there, which we'll do in the next episode. Anyways, I really appreciate you. So go to watch the episode. Your review. If you go back to the next one, if you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. With that, I'll see you later. Bye.